consider myself a living ad for capitalism. 1 year ago today, I came to this country without 2 pennies to rub together. Isn't that right, Shankil?
Absolutely. A few bank books, maybe, but definitely no pennies.
The point is, I believe in the old values. They've made me what I am today. 47 restaurants, coast to coast.
The creator of the finest Malondan cuisine outside of Malanda.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You heard it from the Queen of Malanda herself. My best customer.
Colonel Two's shrimp balls have been a great comfort to us in our lonely exile.
She send you? Did she?
No, let me go, thank you.
I tried to take him alive, but you wouldn't have it.
Police are still investigating yesterday's violent incident at the Malanda restaurant in Chinatown. Deposed Queen Matilda was the guest of honor at a party celebrating the restaurant's first anniversary.
Amazing technology. Zen television.
Appeared to be the target of the attendance.
Bonjour, mes amis, ça va?
Bonjour, oui, ça va.
I have an assignment for you, Adderly.
Meanwhile, negotiations between the People's Republic of Malanda and our own government over diplomatic recognition of the new regime continue to stall.
How long have you been sitting with your arm like that?
An hour.
Give him the file, Mona.
Have you ever heard of Tokyo shoulder?
What?
It's crippling half of Japan. This isn't the Paris assignment.
Who said anything about Paris?
Hurts, doesn't it? Do you read your memos, Melville? The NATO summit needs extra security in Paris. I'm available.
Well, don't go checking your restaurant guide. You're staying here. A personal request from the Queen of Malanda.
Ex-queen.
Not yet. Not until we recognize the revolutionary government, which I hope we don't. She and her late husband were our friends when they were in power. We promised to protect her in exile.
I want the Paris job, Melville. I deserve it. I need it.
Her Majesty expects you at 1400 hours. You speak Malandan?
French, Melville. French.
Au revoir, Adderly. Don't keep her waiting.
Why come to me? You're the diplomatic service. Doc 2 is your responsibility.
How will it look if my people are seen protecting the butcher of Malanda at the same time as we're opening diplomatic channels with the People's Republic? Chew is a refugee, one we consider sensitive. That makes him domestic in your department.
What is this, Shankle, a setup? Another one of your backroom jobs?
What this is, Major, is interagency cooperation. Sporadic, low-level security will be fine. Don't waste man-hours or good men. After all, we don't want Malanda to think that he is near and dear to us.
Do we protect him or not?
We show him that we care. One operative will be enough. Put a junior on it. Consider it field training. It's just for show.
A terrible experience, Mr. Adderly. Like the violent days before our fall from grace. Terrible and frightening.
I'm sure. We still don't know the reason behind the attack or who the terrorists are.
Malandan mercenaries, no doubt. Probably after Colonel Two. He has many enemies, poor man.
At least you're safe and well.
Oh, they don't care about me. Them and their no-frills People's Republic. Not like the old days. We remember our coronation, Mr. Adderly. Our smiling peasants by the roadside. How they cheered as we threw coins at them. And how they turned on us at the end. We had a happy people. Simple artisans toiling together for their daily crust. We should never have set up that literacy program. Education breeds discontent. Colonel Chu advised us against it. We should have listened.
Well, look at the bright side, Your Majesty. Things could be worse. At least you're comfortable here.
Our dear hubby, the late king, had the foresight to pick up a little bit of real estate here and there, and to set aside a few dollars for our...
Retirement?
exile, Mr. Adderly, which in itself is bad enough, but exile on the cheap is unthinkable.
If there's no threat to your royal self, what am I doing here?
Well, to guard our children, of course.
I didn't know you had any.
3 bouncing babies. Come.
Dogs?
Mimi, Fifi, and Coco. My London trout hounds, the last of a noble breed.
Why would anybody want to hurt
Those
me?
communist upstarts who toppled our throne. As rightful ruler of Malanda, we are against any official recognition of their regime. And our one weak spot is our doggies.
You can change royal minds by getting to the royal dogs?
Political leverage, Mr. Adderly. A 2-mile walkies every day and no Western food. They are on a strict Malandan diet. Colonel Chu sends it over from his restaurant.
Quite the kennel.
Their own little corner of Malanda. The only thing the rabble would let me bring out.
You were right. It is poisoned. I had our people run it through the lab. They couldn't classify it, though. I figure it was one of the Chinatown gangs. Vietnamese, maybe. Hit you to take over your action.
I had my people run this through our lab. The poison is kiri-kiri, found only in Malanda. I should know. I've used it often enough myself. It paralyzes, but does not kill. Why don't you have her killed?
This is not Malanda, Doc. We do things differently here.
Our dream is very close. Without me, you have no future.
I've spoken with my people. Negotiations are at a very delicate stage with Malanda, and we cannot be seen giving official protection to one of their enemies.
I can go public, Shankill. All the filth, all the stories you don't want told. What would that do to your negotiations then? If I'm attacked again, I'll take you with me.
So, how goes the revolution?
Malanda is starving, as you well know. We want him back, Shankill.
Why? As a scapegoat? You're going to blame Doc Chu for all the empty rice bowls? I wouldn't have thought a woman in your position would be so naive.
The man is a criminal. He butchered hundreds, thousands of my people. Malandans must see him pay.
Spare me the propaganda. Doc was trying to put down your revolution. If he'd killed for your side, you'd have given him a medal. Leave him alone. And I mean it, Madam Trang.
We want back what he stole.
There's that Marxist naivete again. Doc stole millions, but Malanda needs billions. And you won't get foreign aid without Western recognition of your government. Now, my people are prepared to deal with you as a nation if you behave yourselves.
You cannot lecture me, Shankill. You are not your country's muscle in Malanda anymore.
No, but they still depend on me to tell them what to think of you, and I would hate to change their minds. Malanda has remained stable for a year. That's good. You didn't jump into bed with the Russians. That's even better. Be patient, and you will get what you need. No more terrorism against Doc Chu. Next time, I might not be able to keep a lid on this.
The man has taken our heritage.
That is in the past. If Malanda wants a future, you had better toe the line. Leave Doc Chu alone. I have my own plans for him. When I'm finished, he's yours.
Dead or alive?
And do you care?
Lee Doc Tew. What do you know already?
Self-promoted colonel, ex-chief, Milandan secret police, sadist, probably caused the revolution.
How else could they get rid of him? He virtually ran the country for 10 years.
The Queen likes him, I think.
The Queen, with all due respect, is an airhead. Doc Tew is your new assignment.
To Paris, you say? Thank you, Major. I won't let you down, sir.
I know he's not the sort of person you go to your way to protect, but keep an eye on him. Arm's length, low-level security.
You know, I spent almost a year in the Deuxième Bureau. I have better connections in France than any other agent on the roster.
I'll level with you, Adderly. I'm not happy with his operation. Not happy at all. See, as a sideline, Asian imports. Take a look at his warehouse. See who his connections are. Let me know who comes near.
As in near enough to kill?
Near enough to try. Damn it, Adderly, I'm required to protect this butcher. I'd much rather deport him. Make me happy with this one. Who knows?
I take that as a definite maybe.
Maybe.
On one condition, Major.
What's that?
Greenspan gets the dogs. Now, you want to play for some real money? Come on, boy. Let's hear Uncle Melville. Very outgoing for nobility, aren't they? The common touch, I like that.
Adderly, get them out, please.
Sorry, Melville, can't let them out of my sight.
Nice.
Sacred trust and all that.
Adderly, please, I'm allergic.
Come on, Melville, be a sport.
What did you smell of, Adderly?
Milandan garlic, sweet as a jungle breeze.
Look, if I can make this in order, Adderly, please. What?
What do you mean?
Major Clark. Yes, he is, sir.
Are the
Yes.
dogs there?
Yes, they are.
Melville, it's your assignment. After the dogs.
What?
Goodbye.
Well, no. He says he wants me to handle them.
I knew this was more your style, Melville.
Adderly, please, no, Adderly. I mean,
The Queen expects them back for supper at 5.
Mr. Adderly?
Mr. Tew.
Call me Doc. Doc. Where's your uniform?
I'm allergic to starch.
Are you armed?
Not quite.
What is wrong with that?
Just about everything.
This is an insult. I asked for security, and they send me the disabled. I expected an official operative, a complete person.
Looks like I'm about as complete as you're going to get.
Adderly. Where have I heard? Of course, Adderly, the Queen's dog man.
And you're the Queen's dog chef.
Is there something your government is trying to tell me? What do they find you, the bottom of the barrel?
Close.
Jan! Hurt him, then throw him out.
Hello? It's for you. He's out right now.
I apologize, Mr. Adderly, and I am impressed. You are the proverbial one-armed bandit. Would you consider becoming my bodyguard?
That's what they pay me for.
Forget your employers. I'm offering you a full-time job. Name your price.
To do what?
Protect my investments.
Doc 2's resident, security speaking.
Give me that.
Sounds like it's long distance.
Wait. Leave me.
Oh, wait. Then we can talk about your investments.
Get out and take that with you.
I don't do garbage.
Yes, it's all right now. When do you get in? I'll send a car to pick you up. Did you finalize with the bank in Geneva?
Morning, Mona. Did ICOM get back to you on that symbol?
Is it?
That's it exactly. What is it?
The symbol for the Asia Ghosts.
Asia Ghosts? That's not a Hong Kong triad.
No, this is bigger and multiracial, which is apparently unusual. Taiwan, Amsterdam, New York, London, Paris, Rangoon, worldwide network of crime connections.
Useful club for Doc to belong to?
Okay. Any calls? I'll be back at 16:30 hours.
Yes, Mr. Greenspan.
Luck in the field, Melville.
Be here when I get back, Adderly. I think it's time we had one of our little chats about office protocol and the chain of command.
Love the trench coat. Very authentic.
One of these days, VH, you are going to push him too far.
And I hope we're on a high cliff. What about Melanda, Doc 2, pre-revolution?
Nothing you don't already know. We got all this information from diplomatic services, but they had an agent in place. Head of station for Asia, he was Doc 2's case officer.
Schenkel.
What, you know him?
Mm-hmm. And now I know why Clack looks so unhappy. If Schenkel's involved, something somewhere is not kosher. Mona, how would you like to do some field work?
No, I'm taking 5 minutes here, boys. Now, just here. Go on, do your business. Bob, bad news. If you're interested, it looks like you mutts are going to stay on in the decadent West. Madam Trang, diplomatic envoy of the People's Republic, said in a press statement today, the ex-queen will never set foot on London soil so long as the revolution survives. Reached their palatial home in exile, the Queen replied, in that case, I may be going home sooner than expected. Come on, boys, home time. Come on. Fifi, Momo, Coco. Oh, my God.
Nice work, Mona. I'm impressed.
It was really easy, and nobody ever even noticed me.
Can't believe that. Quite an outfit you're wearing, Mona.
Thank you. So, who is it?
Memory from my good old days in Europe. Gustav Hempel, a major league fence from Amsterdam specializing in art. You steal the Mona Lisa, Mona, this is the guy that can sell it for you.
What'd you find?
Book of telephone numbers, mainly international. This one, 3120, that's Amsterdam, which would tie in with Hempel. I bet you that was him on that long-distance call. But what would Doc have that would interest Hempel? Unless it's this.
Looks valuable.
But where would Doc Tew get it, if he has it?
Probably Malonda. He cleaned out the vaults before he left.
I'll check it out.
The Malondan government wants him back. Crimes against the people.
They can have him.
Not necessarily. There's still considerable opposition here against any dealings with the People's Republic. And Tew is a refugee. We have a certain responsibility.
Unless we nail him in a criminal act.
Such as selling a hot idol.
What do you think of this, Adderly? Chinese immigration permit.
Didn't they move the provincial stamp to the other corner?
2 weeks. 2 weeks I've been working on that plate.
Gustav Hempel's in town.
We got 3 nuclear physicists to get out there by Monday.
Now, what do you think could be big enough to pull him out of Amsterdam?
I'm going to be out for a weekend. I'll never get it done, never. London. Rice got onto, circa 1160, give or take a decade. From the temple shrine of Takigula. Just disappeared last year. What am I going to do, Adderly?
What's it worth?
Nothing.
Oh, come on, Saul. The jewels alone got to be worth it.
There were 2 idols in that shrine. Onto and his goddess Martu. One's worthless without the other. Together they form the sacred marriage and bring fertility to the land. Well, Londoners believe all that stuff. Maybe there's something to it. They've had droughts and famine since those idols disappeared.
How much for a pair?
Priceless, which means they'd be a hard thing to sell. We're talking national treasures here. So you can't put them on your mantelpiece. You can't show them in a museum. The only sale would be to a private collector.
Or a fence like Gustav Hempel. Does he already have the goddess?
Wait. I can use the Hong Kong immigration visa. Reverse the exit panel.
Does he, Saul?
Please, Adderly, I've got work to do.
How soon they forget. Russian icons, art forger caught by the KGB, situation hopeless until...
All right, I owe you one. Something. I heard Asian artifacts. It's been cooking for months. Major buy. Put together by the Asia Ghost Network. If Hempel is in town, it means the money's come to a boil. He's here to close the deal.
How much?
For the pair? 50 million.
You're kidding.
Like I said, priceless. Speaking of which, and more in your range, I get you a sweet deal on the Henry Moore. Just slightly bogus. And in a dim light, who could tell?
Don't forget what side you're supposed to be working on, Saul.
Hello, VH. Staying in shape. I expected to find you on surveillance. Doc Tew is out there without a shadow. Maybe Clark didn't explain what I want from you, Adderly. You're to watch Doc Tew's back. Keep him safe until our negotiations with the Malondan government are settled. Now you listen to me, Super Cripple. The Foreign Service has a big stake in this. I know who stole Doc Tew's notebook. Anybody else would have taken the cash. You're too honest for your own good, Adderly. I hired you to shadow Doc Tew, not snoop into his personal affairs. there's a crew of dog nappers out there, and they can't catch them. Or better yet, we'll pull the old switcheroo. We'll find 3 lookalikes.
Mr. Greenspan, where are you going to find 3 trout hounds?
Haven't you ever heard of dye jobs? Don't we have a list of dog breeders around here?
Miscellaneous affairs.
Mona, I'm going to ask you a big favor.
You got it.
I want you to get inside the Asian Affairs Data Bank. Covert operations.
VH?
I need to know the specifics of how Doc Tew got out of Malanda.
VH, that could cost me my job. Listen, you are asking for Class A eyes only. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Oh, try, Mona. Please.
Oh, I don't even know anybody in Asian operations.
You don't have to. Talk to Dave in the computer room. Get him distracted and get inside the covert ops terminal.
And furthermore, talking to Dave is not exactly my idea of a fun assignment.
I know, Mona, but you do it so much better than Greenspan.
Oh, speaking of whom, he wants to talk to you.
What happened? He lose the dogs?
Yep.
What? Great. Only Greenspan could turn a simple stroll in the park into an international incident. Mona, just find out what's going on with Tew. I need this stuff right away.
Well, I finally got into the covert ops terminal.
And?
And I have to go to Computerama with Dave because of it. Now, how am I going to get out of that?
Tell him your boyfriend's in town.
What boyfriend?
The one who was barred from pro hockey for brutality.
Oh.
What's the scoop in Malanda?
Lots of data on the revolution. King's heart attack, Queen's exile to here.
Doc Tew's exit?
Nothing. As far as we are concerned, that never happened.
But that can't be. We had operatives in Malanda when it fell.
It's been deleted, VH.
Deleted?
And that can only be done by executive order. Not even Major Clack has that kind of authority.
Foreign Service?
Possible?
I'm afraid it's more than possible, Mona. Looks like I'll have to have another talk with the Queen.
Oh, any word on her dogs?
Well, they weren't in the library. How's Melville holding up?
Well, he went to the pound to check for lookalikes, and then he was going to start cruising the street for strays.
He finally found a job to match his talents.
Oh, Mr. Adderly, what a wonderful surprise. Is there any news on my babies?
Not yet, Your Majesty, but I'm sure our Mr. Greenspan has everything well in hand.
Oh, dear. Oh, have you met Colonel Tew? Colonel, Mr. Adderly.
Doc?
You've been avoiding me.
I still am. I came to see you, Your Majesty, but I can come back.
Oh, not at all. Sit down and have some tea. The Colonel won't mind if we chat.
Telephone, Your Majesty.
Excuse me. Colonel, entertain Mr. Adderly. I'll be right back.
Tea?
I hear you've been asking questions. You should have come to me directly. I have the answers.
I bet you do. But I prefer the truth. All right. What'd you steal on your way out of Malanda?
Adderly, I made my first million 10 years ago. And it keeps multiplying.
Who got you out? The Foreign Service case officer? Schenkel?
Oh, Mr. Adderly, my babies!
What's wrong, Your Majesty?
That was your dreadful Mr. Greenspan. The police have just arrested a gang of dog nappers.
Dog nappers?
He said the gang was caught selling animals for medical research. Vivisection. Isn't there a chance they're still alive? Can't you please keep trying to find them?
There might be one place our good Mr. Greenspan neglected to look. I can't promise anything, but keep the faith, Your Majesty. I'll do the best I can. I'll see you later.
Miscellaneous affairs.
Mona, it's me.
Adderly, where have you been? Mr. Greenspan's been looking all over for you.
I'm touched, Mona. I want you to get onto ICOM. Find out as much as you can about Doc Tew and his finances, where he banks, when he's made large deposits.
Okay, for the last year?
Well, go back as far as you can.
Let me talk to him.
No, don't do it, Mona. Also look for his Swiss bank account.
Okay, does he have one?
Adderly, we have to talk.
No, we don't. I'm on assignment from Clack, remember?
He's threatening me with dismissal. He says it's my fault I lost the dogs.
Well, it was your fault. And what's this vivisection story you've been telling the Queen?
That's none of your concern, VH. There must be some way that we can locate them.
Well, there might be, Melville. How good are you at writing letters of transfer?
Transfer? Where?
I love Paris in the springtime.
This is blackmail, Adderly.
I call it negotiating from strength. Do you want the dogs back or don't you?
Of course I do.
Then don't pester Mona on how to spell the big words. She's got more important things to do.
Talk to me later about it.
You have something for me?
Madam Trang, V.H. Adderly.
You know me?
I've seen you on television.
Of course.
I know Melonda's on the skids, but they could have got you a better hotel.
They did. This one serves another purpose. How did you find it?
If you want to hit Doc, you have to know his movements. If you want to know his movements, you have to watch his restaurant. When I checked with City Hall, that's the only building on the block he hasn't bought yet.
Such ingenuity should not go unrewarded.
I agree. Which brings us to you. Doc was secret police. You must be pretty good to have gotten this close. What rank do you hold in the Revolutionary Army?
Walk with me, please. Our revolution is turning sour. Melonda is bankrupt, economically and spiritually. But that is only part of our problem.
You want the idols back?
Yes. They are the symbols of our national spirit, of our faith in the land. Our people are dying, and Karl Marx has no answer for that.
Two has the idols.
No. He has one only, and the god is useless without the goddess. We could make him talk, but we dare not touch him now. Your government will squash us if we give them the excuse.
If he's a thief and we have proof, you'll get him back. We'll deport him.
Melonda cannot wait that long. Our people are starving, and empty bellies cannot wait for governments to bargain.
Then give me the dogs. Queen said you'd be the only person interested in them. Where are they?
Come. We took them in case it became necessary to deal with the Queen. We know she is opposed to any diplomatic recognition of our government.
Well, keeping them was pointless, Madam Trang. Queen Matilda has no influence whatsoever.
These are desperate times, Mr. Adderly.
Not desperate enough to move against her again, I hope.
For what? Benign neglect? No, do not worry. She is not an evil woman, merely a victim of her class. If she hadn't already existed, Doc, too, would have invented her.
Well, now I've helped Her Majesty. Let's see what we can do for our country. Mona, what's the name of that salon where you take Mary Lou's poodle?
Gosh, found them!
All in one big bouncing ball. And that's not all I found. I found out how Doc 2 got out of Melonda. Schenkel. It seems ISI and the Foreign Service were told to maintain spectator status during the revolt. Doc paid a lot of money to be on Schenkel's chopper when they evacuated the embassy.
So Schenkel took a bribe.
I think he took a lot more than that. So make my day, Mona. Tell me that Doc never had a Swiss bank account.
He hadn't until yesterday, and then he opened 2 of them.
Saul was right. The money's coming to a boil.
What? Where are you going?
I'm going to turn the heat up a bit.
What?
Get a hold of Clack. Tell him to pick up Gustav Hempel and book me a seat to Paris.
London goldsmiths were the finest in the ancient world.
Hempel is late.
Look at them together. Look at them together. Beautiful. I've forgotten how beautiful they were.
He has the authorization from the Geneva banks?
You must learn to appreciate wealth, Shankill, especially when you will have so much of it.
Just give me the details.
2 numbered accounts, 25 million in each. Cut and dried, we hand over the idols and sign the documents. Filthy rich at last, eh, Shankill? Welcome to the club.
Any club that would have you as a member, I don't care to join. Come on. Thanks for your help, Doc. Pleasure working with you. No weapons. Don't tell me you're actually going to trust me.
Speaking of weapons, drop yours.
Adderly. Now we can cut a deal, you and I.
Well, we'd need a fence. And Hempel isn't coming. He's playing Name That Tune with Major Clack.
We'll find another one. 50 million. That's more money than you'll ever see in your life, even if Clack does let you out of the basement.
Whose idea was it? You don't need the money.
The Meladon people betrayed me. I was always one to bear a grudge.
And you got him out under Foreign Service cover. In the diplomatic pouch, so to speak. One step ahead of the revolution.
Half a step. I want a Doc properly grateful. He set up the buyers. I stayed clear. I'm still clean. You take out Doc Adderly and we're home free. Think about it. No more being a loser, propping up the winners. This is my chance. Our chance. Now, what has ISI ever done for you besides get you crippled? This is a once-in-a-lifetime shot. Don't blow it. Drop it. Back off.
Another wrong move, Doc. You'd be better off with me in charge.
Now what? Madame Trang couldn't wait. She went after Doc, and you had him. You got in her way, she had to kill you both. We'll take your car. You can die in it.
I don't want to die in that. It won't work anyway. Even Greenspan wouldn't buy that.
Well, if it buys me 24 hours, that's enough. Pick up the idols, boys. Pick them up! Now, let's go. Keep your hand where I can see it, Adderly.
Excuse me, is this restaurant open?
Ignore them. Just keep moving.
I'll call an ambulance.
Oh, it's too late. I'm poisoned. I should have known that little weasel was gonna kill me all along. Well, the idols are yours now, Adderly. Sell them. Be smart for once in your life.
Too much money. I go crazy trying to figure out how to spend it. I'm going back to where they belong, where they'll do the most good.
What a shame, Mr. Adderly. Still, you did find our doggies. For that, we are very grateful. We would have made you a knight or something, but I suppose I've lost my license now that Melanda is a republic.
Why would they both bring fakes to the meeting? The deal was made, the money in place. They'd have to check the idols. Doesn't make any sense.
Unless they thought that the statues were genuine.
But that would mean...
That the idols poor Doc stole were fakes all along. He was so excited. We remember because we were in the palace that day having the doghouse crated for shipment. All the dresses, the furs we left behind. Those seedy little revolutionaries didn't let us bring them. I mean, it's not as if they were going to wear them.
Are you telling me that you knew Doc 2 stole the idols and you knew they were fake?
Of course. Have you ever seen the shrine at Takigula?
No.
Taki is right. Tourists and peasants in and out of there all day long. It was ridiculous to leave 2 works of art in a place like that. So about 10 years ago, we had the royal goldsmiths replace them with copies. We kept the genuine articles in the palace.
Then they're still in Melanda.
Oh, no. When we heard we could only take our doghouse, we added the statues to the decor. The doggies seem to enjoy them, so we've left them there. Attractive, aren't they?
Do you realize an entire nation is in shambles because those idols are missing? They worship them.
Oh, pooh. They said prayers for the fake ones for years and nobody noticed the difference.
Malanda wants them back.
Malanda shall have them as soon as they want me back.
I see.
All things considered, this has been a very satisfactory operation. We closed the book on Doc 2, and Schenkel's death spares us what would have been a very messy inquiry. Malanda has become a legitimate member of the world community, and the idols will be returned to their shrine at Takagula. File closed.
Oh, you left out Paris.
This is all thanks to you, Mr. Adderly. Perhaps you will visit our country and allow us to show you our appreciation. We owe you a great deal.
Just doing my job, Madame Trang. And I'd love to visit Malanda, but I'm afraid that'll have to wait. I think the Major has other plans for me. Will I be limited strictly to Paris, or will you need me on the Riviera?
Yes, well, no final decisions. Leave it with me.
I have your word.
Yep. These are the ones. Be very careful of them, Madame Trang. But if Malanda ever gets in a deficit, I think I can get you a very good price.
That will be all, Saul.
Yeah? Of course. Sorry.
Saul. I'll see that they're crated and escorted back to Malanda. A token of my country's newfound friendship with your own.
Thank you, Major. And thank you again, Mr. Adderly. You are a true friend of the revolution.
Well, let's just say I believe people should have what belongs to them.
Goodbye, Madame Trang.
So, when do I go?
Adderly, there's been a snag with Paris.
Major.
The vagaries of international relations, VH. The summit's been canceled. It's out of my hands.
You owe me one, Major.
You've done a superb job, Adderly. I know that. You'll have the first assignment that crosses my desk. By the way, the Queen of Malanda called this morning. Seems there was a break-in at the Royal Kennels.
Somebody stole her idols, did they?